Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Starbucks. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my other various tutorial playlists. And in the card system especially, guys, I will leave you some more targeted videos that I'm sure that you guys will like, some more real life buildings and stuff like that. Moving on, if you want to make Starbucks, here's what you're going to need. You will need some birchwood planks and some bricks. Then grab yourself some birchwood stairs and some birchwood slabs. Then, guys, grab yourself some black wool, some dark green wool. Then, grab yourself some black stained glass paint. You'll also want to find some block of quartz. And finally, guys, grab yourself some dark oak wood fence. And we might even need some more materials later on. But for now, we have most of them. Be happy that we have most of them. So once you have each one of those right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here. You're going to want to kick off your Starbucks with this sequence of blocks in a row on the floor. Do 3 bricks, 1, 2, 3. Then 7 black wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 6 bricks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 1 black wool. Then leave 2 spacers. Then do another black wool. Leave 2 spacers. Do another black wool. Then do 6 bricks, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 7 black wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then do 3 bricks, 1, 2, 3. And that's probably enough for now. So what you want to have, guys, should look a little bit like this. And this is just the base of the front of your Starbucks. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what we want to do next. And when I say the front, just to make this incredibly clear, guys, the entrance to Starbucks is going to be right here. For those of you that like to know that information, the entrance, the front of Starbucks, literally right here. That's where you're going to walk in. Now that that's been made clear, you now want to come all the way over to the left-hand side of what you've made, where we have this very first brick that we placed, and going left of this towards where the back of Starbucks is going to be, you're going to want to do this sequence of blocks. So, from this block, do 2 bricks, 1, 2, followed by 7 black wool, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You then want to do 3 bricks, 1, 2, 3, then 7 black wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you want to do 17 bricks, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And once you have that row on the side, guys, and just to remind you, 2 bricks, 7 black, 3 bricks, 7 black, 17 bricks. You now want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So why don't we come all the way over to the opposite side now? So we're on the opposite side. Starting from this bricks, we literally want to emulate what we have over there. So going right, we now want to do 2 bricks, 1, 2, 7 black, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then want to do 2 bricks, 1, 2. 7 black wool, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 17 bricks, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. What you then want to do, guys, is just connect those 17 blocks all the way together, back block to back block. So what we're doing is we're now making the base of the entire Starbucks. One of those rows was wrong. Which one was it? These things sometimes happen, guys. Shall we count this out? Shall we make sure that we get this right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It seems as though that I cut that row short by 1 on the opposite side. That's okay. I'll leave this in here. Sometimes mistakes happen, just make sure that you fix them. Very simple fix, we just missed a block, no problem. So all we have to do now is just delete this row right here, and we can actually keep that row of 17 that I've just placed on top of there. You guys may not have to do this because you guys might actually be able to count. Apparently, I can't. But that is what we want to have for the base of our Starbucks so far. Once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. So, we're now going to build up all of the windows. It's going to be quite simple. So this is how we want to do it, guys. Each one of these 6 windows will be built up the same. On top of the left-hand and right-hand blocks number 1 and 7, we want to go up on top of each of them by 9 with our black. It'll look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we also want to connect them together at the top. So I'm just going to cut that short. We want to raise up each side by 9, connect them together at the top to form a rectangular shape like this. What we then want to do to the rectangular shape is cut it directly up through through the middle with our black wall like that. Then we want to add a horizontal row of black wall very near the top, so it kind of looks like a Christmas present shape, except it's not through the middle. We want to leave a 2x2 square of empty space at the top here, and those will be the windows. What we'll then do, guys, is just fill the center of them in with black stained glass pane. I'm just going to finish this one off first, but then what I'm going to do all of the black for the windows in one go, and then I'm going to do all of the glass for the windows in one go, because that is how I roll. So that is how each one of these 6 windows will look. It looks a little different in the thumbnail because they've got covers on them, but that's how the windows look. Once you've done that to one, let's do the same thing to the rest of them. So we've got this to do 5 more times. On top of the left and right blocks, remember we go up by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lost my powers there for a second. Then 9 up on top of this one. We don't have to count it out as long as we're sure that it was 9. Connect it together at the top and very clumsily place another block. We then cut the window directly up the middle. We then add a horizontal row of black and we leave 2x2, 2x2 at the top. As easy as that. And why don't we do that to all of the other windows? And I don't have to count this up because I have that window of 9 to the left of me, so we don't have to do any more counting on this side. We will have to on the other side though. We're just, like I said, we're marking out the outsides of the windows. Later on, we will fill them in with black. You know what? Whilst I'm actually over this side, I'm going to fill these 2 in with black. But the opposite side, I'm going to do all of the black first, and then I'll fill everything in with black. I like just doing it like a material at a time. For whatever reason, I don't like building like an individual window all in one go. I prefer to like mass do it. But that's just me. You guys can do whatever you want. All that matters is that we get these windows done. And then we will mess about with the entrance. We will then mark out the walls. We'll build them all up. We will then mess about with all of the little individual bits. Like we've got some lights and stuff. Is that... Yeah, these are all 3 of the windows done, guys. As you can see, they're all identical. Let's move on to the opposite side now. So this opposite side requires a little bit of counting. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we never have to count that out again. So, like I said, after the walls are up and once the general shape's taken care of, that's when we'll start doing things like we'll do the logo and we'll do like the lights and the bits that overhang the windows and all of that fun stuff. That's when that'll all get done. But for now, we've actually got quite a bit of the building to do. We've not really marked out even the general shape of it. We've kind of just got the base, and yeah, we've got a bit to do. Basically, what I'm getting at, guys, we've got a bit of work to do. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how long this is going to take us. I didn't really time how long it took me to design and make this the first time round, so I've got no idea. I would guess, a bit of a guesstimate, since I've been at the building game for a while, probably about 40 minutes, I would imagine. That's without the interior and the proper exterior, but those are all the windows done and marked out. Why don't we just fill this in? And the reason that we can leave that brick there, by the way, guys, if you notice that we've got that row of brick over there, that semi-row of brick, that's because the entire base has like 2 rows of brick going all the way around the base of it. That's why we can just leave that there, leave it all to its lonesome. It's quite an easy build, actually, this Starbucks. Thinking about it, it's a very, very simple build. The hardest part is going to be the next bit, but that's not going to be particularly difficult. It's just the hardest part of the build. Everything else is very easy in comparison. A lot of just stacking materials is essentially what we're going to be up to. But hey, that's us. That's what we do here. But those are all 6 of the windows taken care of, guys. Let's see if we can get a good view of these. There we go. Perfect. That is exactly what we want. Now, once you've got all of those windows taken care of, what do we want to do next? We want to do the door, don't we? So, once you've got all the windows taken care of, we now want to come to the entrance. This is what we want to do. On top of this left hand and on top of this right hand black wall block, we want to stack 2 rows of 6. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on top of the right one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, coming all the way up to the top. We then want to connect them together at the top. We also want to bisect them all the way up the center. And then we want to kind of like do the reverse of what we did to the windows. We kind of want to leave a 2x2 or 2x2 squares right at the very base of the entrance. So you'll be walking in here, you'll be walking in here, and we will have glass just above here. And that is how that will go. So we'll just fill that in with glass. And that will be the entrance. Now, what do we want to do next? We have to mark out, as you might have saw from the thumbnail, At the very front of the shop, there's a big giant rectangular bit which sticks out of the front. That's what we're going to be doing now. So, what we now want to do, guys, on top of these 3 brick blocks on the left and right hand side closest to the entrance, we want to go up on top of these bricks, each by 26. It'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And we also want them on the next 2 as well. We want to have the closest 3 bricks coming all the way up. Not only do we want to do this on the left, but we also want to do it on the right. And I'm just going to drag this block over a little bit so that I don't have to count it out on the right hand side. I'm assuming that I was right the first time, although that is a dangerous assumption, but I think that it is roughly 26 blocks. So all we have to do is the exact same thing on the right hand side now, and we just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like that. Now, we don't have to fill that center part in, and here's why. What we now want to do, now that we have the general shape here, is we now want to extend these rows of 3 out in front of the shop by 3. So we kind of want to do this. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And we kind of just want to extend it, coming out in front of the shop by 3. So we kind of want to make like a nice big giant archway. And obviously, we want to fill it in as little as possible. So we don't want to just extend each one of those blocks out by 3. We want to do as little work as possible, as little filling in as possible. And we just want to kind of connect everything together, form it into a big giant shape, and it'll look a little something, it'll look a little something like this. I mean, you guys can see what I'm talking about. At the very base of what we're doing is, obviously, we're not obstructing the entrance at all. We're just going to be filling this thing in, and we're turning it into a big 3D shape, which comes out of the front of your Starbucks by, you guys know it's by 3. So just to show you guys what we're kind of working with, and this will make more sense once you can actually see it. So we just want to extend that entrance coming out in front of Starbucks by 3. What we'll now do is fill the front and the sides of that thing in. It equals less work. Let's do it. So all we have to do now is fill the sides of what we've made in by 3, the front of it, and we don't even really have to touch the back of it. So we're just making sure that it looks as though we've taken each one of those blocks, which we obviously didn't have to do, and we've just extended it out by 3. If you want to do that, then that's perfectly fine, but I'd say that that's the long way of doing it, and that takes way too much time for me. But this time, we do want to fill in the entire front of it. Like all the way above the entrance, we want to fill in the entire front of it. So you can see me doing that now. We'll then move on to the opposite side, and we'll also do the top. So we've also got this little bit to do. Oh, and there's this bit underneath. So why don't we start all the way up at the bottom, and we'll come all the way up to the top, and we'll just do this. Bit tedious, ever so slightly tedious, but this is how things are. Whoops, and we've got that block to whoops. We've got that block to delete when we get all the way back up. There we go. I even made another one. I made it a twin and then killed them both. Poor bricks. And we can also fill in the top portion here. And we do have a little bit to add to the top bit here as well in just a moment. Bang. And is that everything? I bet we have some on the insides. Yeah, we have some on the insides to do. So just next to the entrance, which we may still extend out a little bit. We might just have it sit in one block backwards in relation to the bricks that we've made. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. And you may just want to just plug this hole just above the entrance, just right here. So it's just in the interest of time saving and block saving that we just turn it into a shape and fill in the outer parts. But that is exactly what we want to have, guys. 3 blocks outwards, 3 block, oh my god. Was that grammatically correct? I'm not cutting this. 3 blocks outwards, 26 blocks high, or 27 including the base block. That is what you want to have. And that is perfect, guys. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Take out your birchwood planks. Come all the way up to the top of what you've made, and just do 2 rows of birchwood planks going all the way around the top of what you've made. Just in a very small rectangular shape, just do that with your birchwood planks. And we will have a little bit more to do with this later, talking too fast with my own gun, to do with this later, but we'll leave that until later. I know it will look a little bit weird, but it will look better later on. So we just want to have 2 layers of birchwood planks stacked directly on top of that entrance bit. Perfect. Now, Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next, guys. Take out your bricks. Add an additional layer of bricks going all the way around the base of your Starbucks. So going all the way around the base of your Starbucks, you want to add, I forgot that we already had one there, you want to add an additional layer of bricks. This sets us up for the next bit. The next bit, we're going to be adding a lot of birchwood planks, 22 rows of them to be exact. Once that's done, we then have the fun of adding in all of the details to Starbucks, including the logo, which looks incredibly strange, but I'll talk about that later. I think we've just about done it. Oh, no, we've just got a little bit. So what you want to have, guys, is 2 layers of bricks going all the way around the base of your Starbucks. Perfect. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. And I already told you guys, now what you want to do is 22 rows of birchwood planks stacked on top of your bricks. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And that wants to go all the way around the shop. So this is going to be the longest part, guys. This is what's going to take most of our time. We just want to painstakingly go all the way We want to painstakingly go all the way around the base of our shop and add 22 layers of fully certifiable, genuine wooden birchwood planks going all the way around the base. And there is not much to talk about here, is there? Let me tell you what's going to happen next, and then maybe we'll talk about some random things that's rattling around my head. So, after we've added in our 22 layers of birchwood planks, we will then have to add things above the windows. Not only do we have like those blinder things above the windows, like those wind barriers or whatever they're supposed to be, those greeny things, we've got to add those. We've also got to add like 2 layers of stairs going all the way around our Starbucks. I don't know why it's there, but it is there. We've also got to add some lamps above the windows. We've got to add in the Starbucks logo. We've then got to temper with the top of the walls, fill in the roof, and we will also have to probably amend the entrance a little bit. Not really too much. Once this is taken care of, everything else will seem incredibly easy. I don't know whether this is the fastest way to accomplish this, by the way. I don't know whether this is the slow way, the fast way, but I figure it is, just mainly because we've got all of the windows in. I don't think that there's a way to make this particularly any faster, but hey. Since you guys have to do this, I may as well hang in there with you. As you guys know, if you suffer, I suffer. As I suffer, you will suffer. That's how this works. When we're painstakingly filling in all these walls, I'll hang in there with you. One day, they will add the Microsoft Paint function, the big giant paint can, in which we'll kind of like section off an area and we'll just like select it and we'll like bloop, and we'll be able to fill in like a big giant square in one click. But, unfortunately, until then, we must do this. That's how it goes. It feels incredibly slow today. I don't know why. We're not even halfway. We're not even halfway here. It's just taking this long. That's a real shame. Oh well. So, what do I have to talk about, guys? What do I have to talk about? What can we talk about? I have absolutely no idea. Halloween is coming up. Halloween's going to be pretty fun for me. Not only am I going to... Do you guys know what Alton Towers is? It's a theme park here in Britain. I think that it's like our best one, our biggest one. That's something. A couple of people actually got crippled on one of the rides, like 2 months ago. It's kind of rough. They were on this ride called the Smiler. I think it might even have a record for. I don't know if it's in the world, but it's definitely in Britain. It has like the most twists and turns or something, like the most corkscrews in a roller coaster in Britain. And well, somebody apparently done goofed, and as they were pulling back into the station that they left from, there was another car there, another set of cars, and they like slammed directly into the back of it, and a couple of girls lost their legs and a load of people got nerve damage and stuff. So I'm not going on that ride, luckily. I'm avoiding that completely. Feel free to check that out. That's called Smile. It is a fun ride to go on. I've been on it before, but I'm never going on that thing again because I enjoy walking. Rough rough. But I'm going for like this Halloween thing. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. You probably have. Like, there's these zombie mazes, and you go through them with a bunch of people. You get like blindfolded or bagged, and there's people making pretend to be zombies. They're like snarling at you and grabbing at you like, wah, wah. I can't really make zombie noises, but they're really good at it. Trust me, they're all dressed up and stuff. And as you go around the park, it's kind of like dark, and you can still go on all of the rides, and the employees are dressed up and stuff, and like they're just trying to scare you. It's called Scarefest. It's going to be pretty good. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a shame it'll have probably have happened about a week ago by the time you guys have watched this. If you even make it this far into the video, that's what's going to happen. I'm kind of looking forward to that. It'll actually be like one day away from Halloween by the time that this video is released. I'm going on some sort of ghost walk thing for Halloween. We've got this like big giant place near us that I don't want to give the name away of because it hits too close to home, and there's like this ghost walk thing going on, and they feed you, and I'm going with a mate of mine. That should probably be entertaining. It's like apparently a well-known haunted spot, if such a thing exists, a haunted spot. I've never seen a ghost. I'm just going for the fun of it. I think there might even be like tilting going on. I don't know what tilting is, but apparently that's a thing. I think it has to do with tables, and there's going to be like a Ouija board, and there's like these professional people telling ghost stories and stuff. That's something to look forward to. I've never really been into Halloween. I've never even really dressed up as it, but this year I'm kind of going for it. I'm not dressing up. I don't even know what a good costume for me would be. I've got absolutely no clue. And, well, you guys don't know what I look like, so obviously you guys couldn't suggest a costume. I've always wondered that. I mean, it's obviously, when you're going for Halloween, you have to go, like, heavy with the makeup or, like, a full-body costume, or you kind of have to play to your strengths, don't you? Like, if you're a pretty big guy, then you could probably go for, like, I don't know, like, Gaston out of Disney, or, like, Bane out of Batman, but if you're, like, a pretty slender guy, pretty athletic, then you could go for, like, a superhero. Maybe you're, like, Superman, or The Flash, or Spider-Man, or something like that. So I've got absolutely no clue what I could go for, but it's hopefully going to be pretty fun. I've never went on like a ghost walk or like, you know, zombie experience or something, although they are doing this pretty cool zombie thing near me. And it's like they release you into a forest, and it lasts 14 hours, and it's kind of like a proper zombie apocalypse experience. It actually sounds pretty fantastic. It sounds right up my alley. I'm kind of into the whole zombie apocalypse idea. I know, makes me sound like a madman, but I am. And they release you, and there's people like pretending to be zombies, and you actually like find food out there. There's like a whole like landing spot. There's a base. You have to go out there, and they give you like either Nerf guns or like BB guns, and you like find ammo, and you survive, and you've got to find water, and you set up a base camp, and you're with other survivors. It's really expensive, so I'm not going to do it. Plus, nobody else in my life wants to do it because apparently they're cowards. It sounds amazing to me. Don't you guys want the zombie apocalypse experience? I've seen too many zombie movies and too many episodes of The Walking Dead to not want to at least have a bit of a go at it, but nobody else is into it. I don't know. One of my friends who I talked to about it, they were like, oh yeah, I'd do it, but, you know, only if I'm allowed to go up one of the trees and hang myself. So apparently it's not up their alley. So I'm on my own, not gonna do it. That's a real shame, but it seems really, really fun. And like I said, I've never really been into Halloween, never dressed up, so hopefully these two little events that I'm going on are going to be really fun. And maybe next year I'll actually dress up as something. Maybe I'll go out, I'll find something. I'll be, I don't know what I can be. I'll be like one of the Muppets, or I'll be one of the Muppets. Which Muppet could I be? I'm trying to think. I always liked Fozzie Bear. Maybe I'd be Kermit the Frog. I'd paint myself green. I'd get a big, giant Kermit the Frog head with those big eyes. Muppets is coming back, guys. I'm pretty sure they just released a new TV series. That'd be pretty good. Gonzo would be a good choice, but I don't think I have the voice down. But hey, I know what I could be. I could be one of those big giant bears. I think there's only one. He wears like a hat. His eyes are always semi-closed. That seems really comfortable as well. It's usually cold around Halloween, so I feel as though a big giant fur suit would actually suit me. Suit me very well. I think that that's what I could definitely go as. I don't know. Or maybe that weird professor guy who's always electrocuting that poor little stick man with the big giant frizzy red head. Do you guys... Is the Muppets too old? Did you guys grow up with the Muppets? I know I did. Muppets Treasure Island, The Christmas Story. Oh, Ebenezer. I loved the Muppets. They're so ridiculous. I loved them. I love the fact that they interact with humans. I like that they don't even reference it as well. Like, there's just Muppets around in the universe. They're talking to humans. It's like, there's a frog and a pig. They're dating. They're kind of together. They're walking around the streets. Nobody's batting an eye. Nobody cares. It's beautiful. It really is. I think that it really brings everybody together when you see a frog and a pig just walking around the streets. This is taking so unbelievably long, guys, isn't it? It really is, but I can't imagine that it isn't taking you guys just as long, unless you found a much smarter way of doing it than I have, which I doubt, because I don't think that there really is. Unless you kind of like went up and down, that might take less time. I have absolutely no idea, but that always, I don't know, when I go up and down, like when I do Rose going up and down, like, oscillating, it kind of does my eyes in, so we're just taking it the turtle way, the tortoise and the hare. That story never made any sense. All that hare had to do was just cross the finish line at the end, instead of just like taunting that tortoise. If the hare was a little bit more sporting, the hare would have just won like 1 minute into the race. It took the tortoise like 8 hours or something ridiculous. I don't know what that story's about. I guess it's being like humble. I guess that's what the whole fable there... Yeah, it's a fable, right? A fable has like a moral. So I suppose that that's a fable. I guess that that's what it is. Be humble, don't brag, and always win the race. Wow. Or is it patience? I'm looking at it from I'm looking at it from like the point of view of the hare. Maybe I should be looking at it from the tortoise. It's just like slow and steady, you'll get there in the end, or just be really fast and beat everyone else. Why did I have to warp that? That's such a nice children's fable that teaches you about life, and it's like, not everything's a race, you'll get there in the end, you don't have to be faster than everybody else, you just have to get there at your own pace, and I'm like, nah, that's wrong, what you've got to do is be better. But apparently that's not what they're trying to... No, that's almost definitely not the message. That's what I've taken from it. I've corrupted it. I've corrupted the child's... Yeah. Okay, well that's me, isn't it? We've not got too many layers of this. I'm running out of things to talk about. I've talked about Halloween. By the time you guys watch this, I will be in the new house, finally. I've been talking about this for several weeks in these videos. I don't know whether you guys watch all of these. I don't know whether you make it through these bits. Doubtful, but just to give you guys something to talk about, by the time this is out, I will be in the new house. I'm currently recording this on the Saturday. I already have like what's going up this Saturday uploaded and what have you. I make them a week in advance because I think these videos are the most important. I like to have them all ready and planned out just in case something happens. You never know. By the time you guys see this, I will be in the new abode. I should be. All going well, I should be there on the Monday. So 2 days from now, I'm going to be in the new house. It's going to be very exciting. I've even been thinking about the face reveal. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about doing it in a subtle way. I've not done a Q&A in a little while, and I don't think I want to do it there. I don't think I want to make a big deal out of it. I don't think I want to do like, hey, this is the face reveal, everybody come and watch. I think I might just like play an adventure map, and I might just be there. I think I might just show up. It's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, this is me, let's play. I think that that's how it might actually go. I think that that's how I'm going to do it. If I make a big deal out of it, then, I don't know, I think I'd rather just subtly throw it in, and then maybe I can do some, like, I don't know, some... Oh, we've actually reached the end here, I think. Hang on, let me see. Oh, no, we have one more to do. So, I think I might do it like that. I always planned maybe on, like, when I hit 1 million or before that. I didn't really plan on, like, revealing the face at 1 million. I figured that I might do, like, a 1 to 2 minute video, like, what's up? This is a face reveal. Are you happy now? But I think that if I just kind of, like, slip it in there, like, hey, yeah, I'm here now. Deal with it. I think that that might actually be a little bit better. I think that that's what I might go for. I haven't decided yet, but I think that's how it's going to go. And I'm not sure what to reveal it on either. If it's just like a random adventure mode video, I think I might just do that. But we have finally done all of these 22 rows of birchwood, guys. There we go. That is the majority of this thing taken out. So what we now want to do, now that we have completely filled in all of the walls, we're now going to add all of the nice little bits all the way around Starbucks. So why don't we do that? So first, we're going to add things around the windows. Take out your dark green wall. What you want to do is you want to, starting from this row right here, so you want to be on the second row down from the top of your window, and starting from the right hand side and the left, you want to do 2 rows of 3 dark green wool coming out of the front of your window. It will look like 1, 2, 3, and then the other side 1, 2, 3. Then connect each one of those third blocks together. And just above what you've made, you then want to do a similar thing. You want to do 1, 2, and coming out of the other side 1, 2, and then you just want to connect them together like this. So we're kind of like just tapering up. It's like we're making green stairs. And then above that, we want to have a layer of dark green wool. So it'll look like this, and this just goes above the window. There's like cloth or plasticky, tarpy materials that go above the window. It kind of just covers it a little bit. That's what we're going for here, guys. And it wants to, that's the first window. It wants to start on the second row down from the ends of the window, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Connect them together, like so. Above that, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Connect them together. Above that, just a row of 1. It'll look like this. And we want to do that with every single one of the windows. So, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then connect them together, of course. And we've got to do this, I don't know, 3 more times after this, but that'll be okay. It's not too painful. So once we've added all of this in, it'll allow us to progress to the next bit. So I don't need to explain that again, do I? 1, 2, 3. I just have to count it out for myself, make sure I get it right. I know that's a very small number, but, you know, that's how it goes. So once we've done this, it'll allow us to progress on to the next bit, and pretty much all we're doing now is we're just kind of like adding details, and we will also have to fill in the top of the roof at one point, which will be the last thing that we do. Probably the last thing that we do. It takes a while to do that, doesn't it? But it's okay. It's okay. We know that it's coming, but we need to take a break from mass filling in. We could have already done it, but I've ran out of topics to talk about, so that's basically what I'm hoping to recharge by the time we hit the top of the roof. Or maybe I won't include it in the video. I'll probably include it in the video. So you guys might be able to see now that we've added all of the dark green wool on top of each one of the windows. You guys know how to do that. It looks like little staircases. It's as wide as the window and starts 2 rows down from the top of the window. Now, once you've got that taken care of, take out your birchwood stairs, and starting from the row just above the top of the green thingy, you want to do a layer of upside down birchwood stairs going all the way around the outside of your Starbucks. And it just sits, like I said, 1 block above the windows. It goes from one side of the other, and we don't want to go in front of that bricky part of Starbucks. So we kind of just want to go all the way around the outside, as you guys can see I'm doing right now. And it'll take a little while because Starbucks is a little bit bigger than I thought it was in my head, but we've got to do this. I forgot, we've also got to write Starbucks on the side of this thing. I completely forgot about that. We'll do that before we do the logo, because the logo is going to be really irritating. So what you want to have, guys, is a layer of upside down stairs going all the way just above the windows. Now, once you've got that taken care of, guess what? We now want to have regular facing stairs going all the way around the top of what you've just made. I know, guys. Oh, we also forgot something as well. Above the actual entrance to Starbucks, we also want to have the dark green wool kind of like pokey out window covering thingamajig. But that's okay. We can add that in after we finish this. I can't believe that I forgot about it. It's a little bit bigger than the ones that we've done, but it is in the very same row, and it does follow the exact same strategy or the exact same design or whatever you want to call it. It's the exact same as the other ones, except it's a little bit bigger. So what we want to have, guys, should look a little bit now like this. Very subtle, makes a difference, it's on the actual shop. Now, once you've got that taken care of, you now want to take out your dark green wool. And in line with all of the other like dark green wool overhangy things, we now want to do the exact same thing just above the entrance. And this time, the big giant overhangy green thingy wants to be 1 block lesser than the actual brick part of the front of the building. So if you guys can see what I'm talking about, it's somewhat difficult to explain. It's the same thing except longer, in the same position, except it's on the front of the entrance. You guys can see what I'm talking about. That's exactly what we want to have. I'm sure that you guys will manage to do that no problem. So, once you've got that taken care of, guys, we can now move on to the next bit. So, what are we going to do? Here's what we're going to do. Above each one of the entrances, not the entrances, above each one of the windows, not the entrance, we want to add 2 hanging lamps. So, these hanging lamps are, in relation to the windows, they're kind of like 1 block inwards. So, they're in this line, and they're in this line here. 1 block inwards in relation to the windows. They are 2 blocks higher than the stairs that we have. So it'll kind of like be like this. We'll have 2 stairs poking out here, or 2 fence I should say, and we'll have 2 fence poking out here. So can you guys see where they are in relation to the windows? They are 1 block higher than the actual stairs that we have. They're 1 block inwards in relation to the windows, and they poke out of the building by 2 rows. Underneath the second fence, you want to place a black wool block, and these will assimilate lamps that are hanging outside Starbucks, and they'll look exactly like this. Perfect. Not only do we want to do this once, we want to do this for every single other window. So we're 1 block inwards, 1 block higher, poke, poke, and then here, and then we just want to do black wool underneath. I'm sure that you guys get that. I think I explained that relatively well. So what we're now going to do is just apply that to every single other window. So why don't we just do that? And right here as well, boom, boom. Then black wool. That is going to be one side taken care of. Why don't we head over to the opposite side now? So heading over to the opposite side here for the window, it'll be here, boom, and here. Then we'll do the black wool coming out underneath the second one. We only have 2 more windows to do. And after this, we'll probably... What will we do? We've got a couple of things that we can do that are all kind of like equally irritating to do. So I'm kind of like trying to stack rank them, like what do we want to do next? But we're currently just doing this, which is actually relatively pain-free. We're just hanging lamps outside of the windows. So we just... Oh my god. Come on. Come on. So... No! Dexterity, why? So what we want to have, guys, so far should look a little bit... Just to give you guys kind of like a diagonal view, a little bit like this. Perfect. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. I think it's time to add in the birchwood stairs, actually. So, take out your birchwood stairs now, come all the way up to the top of Starbucks. What you want to do is a layer of upside down birchwood stairs going all the way around the top of Starbucks. Not only do we want to do it to this part, however, you see the big bit that we have in the center, that big brick bit, we also want to do it to the top of that. And not only are we going to be adding a layer of stairs going all the way around the top of Starbucks, but we're also going to do a layer of birchwood planks that sits directly 1 block on top, and it will just kind of give it like, I don't know, it makes it look a little bit better, in my opinion. I don't know why it is. You guys can take it or leave it, but I designed it in mind, and I do think that it does make a bit of a difference. So, now that all of those are added in, we're now just going to do the brickwood slabs, or the birchwood slabs I should say, going all the way around. I don't think that brickwood actually exists. Those are 2 materials that I've taken, I've combined them together, they're amalgamated now, and it doesn't make any sense. Does that exist, brickwood? Where they like mix wood into the cement? I doubt it. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. They do mix some weird stuff in there. I think that they used to actually mix like horsehair in there to make it more coarse and like stick together. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, hey, Mick, put some wood in there. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So now that we've done it to the top of the building, like that. What we now want to do is this little sticky up bit here, we also want to add it in here, all the way up at the top of the middle-ish bit. So that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go all the way around the top of this, then we'll add in the slabs. This won't take very long, and then we can, I guess we can then fill the top of this little bit in here, although, no, oh, there we go. Whoops. Although nobody will see it, and it does kind of look like a chimney, which kind of makes me smile thinking of Santa visiting Starbucks, kind of giving everybody presents. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought of that, but the fact that this looked like a chimney made me think of Santa, so we're now just filling this thing in just because it'll bug me. And what we'll have, guys, should look so far a little bit like that. So now we only have 3 things left to do, and I think I've figured out what we have to do next. So once you've got that taken care of, guys, we're going to literally write Starbucks on the side of Starbucks, because because the logo that I designed for this, it's so small, it's hard to tell that it's Starbucks. So what we're going to do to combat that is literally write Starbucks on the side of this thing. This is how we're going to do it, and I have to adjust my plans to actually see this. So come to the top back left-hand side of Starbucks. You want to begin your writing right here. Take out your quartz block, and starting from this block, I'm sure you can find it, do a row of 3 quartz going right. Each one of the letters is 3 blocks. Starting from this left quartz, go down by 2, 1, 2, right by 2, 1, 2, down by 2, 1, 2, left by 2, 1, 2. That is the first letter, that's an S. I'm going to do these relatively quickly, but I'm going to give you guys a very good view of how they look afterwards. I think that that'll be the easier way to go. So, next letter, T. All of these, 3 blocks wide, spaced 1 apart. The T looks like this, 1, 2, 3. Take down the middle block all the way down to the bottom. They're also the exact same size. That is the T. Pause if necessary. The A starts again 1 block away. We start off with 3 rows, extend the left and right ones down, all the way down to the bottom of where the T is. Then you just want to leave 1 block empty at the top and connect everything together. We have so far made st. Let's move on to the R. R is a little bit trickier. We start off with the long row on the left hand side. We take this top row, we go right by 2, we go down 1, bottom left diagonal, bottom right diagonal, down 1. That will be the R. Once you've got the R done, we can now do a B. What we're essentially doing here is now an 8. We're just doing the number 8. I almost said letter 8. I was going to make fun of myself, but I said number 8. That is B. Exactly how you might imagine it. There's no other real way to do it unless you wanted to knock out some blocks. I like that better. Now let's do the U. The U looks exactly how you might imagine. 2 long rows of quartz connected together at the bottom by 1. Boom. That is the U. Perfect. The C. The C is done exactly how you might imagine as well. It's just 2 short rows connected together by a long row of quartz on the left. Exactly how you'd expect. That's the C. Let's move on to the K. The K, we've just got a long row of quartz spaced 1 block away as long as the others. We then take this middle block, we extend it to the right by 1, up right diagonal, 1 on top, from the same middle block, bottom right diagonal, down 1. That is your K. This leaves us 1 last letter. This is the S. We've done this before. We're a master at this. So we do 1, 2, 3, down by 2, right 2, down by 2, left 2, that is the S. Now you can see it fits perfectly on the side of Starbucks, almost as if somebody designed it that way. Starbucks there, that's the S. Let's take a look at this thing. There we go. Clearly reads Starbucks. You guys can see where it's positioned. That's perfect. The reason that we did that, as I said, the logo does not look great. You probably would not guess that it's the Starbucks logo. You guys will see what I'm talking about in just a minute. But just to show you guys how this looks from the side, there we go. It's really shaping up. Once you've got that taken care of, it's now time for us to do the logo. So why don't we get crack-a-lacking with that? So I cannot believe I said crack-a-lacking, god damn it. So once you've reached this point right here, you now want to come to the front center of your Starbucks. Come all the way up to the top left-hand corner brick block here. From this brick block, you want to come down by 2. So let me just shove down a little bit. So we want to come down by 2. 1, 2. We then want to go right by 3. 1, 2, 3. So we then want to be on, we actually want to, we want to go right by 4. I'm sorry, let's start this again, I'm not cutting this. So we're at the top left hand corner, we want to come down by 2, so that'll be 1, 2. We then want to go right by 4, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And on top of this 4th block, we want to place a dark green wall, like that. Going right, we then want to do a block of quartz. Then a dark green wall. Then a block of quartz. Let's move the quartz and the dark green closer to each other. Then you want to do a dark green wall. Then bottom right diagonally you want to do a dark green. Go down by 1 with your quartz. Then bottom right diagonally do a dark green. Go down by 2 with your green. 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal with your green. Then go down by 1 with your quartz. Do a bottom left diagonal with your green. Go left by 1. Then do a quartz. Left by 2 with your green. 1, 2. Do an up left diagonal with your quartz. Go up by 1 with your green. Do an up left diagonal with your green. Go up by 2. 1, 2. Do an up right diagonal with your quartz. Go up by 1 with your green. This will give you the outline of the logo. What we'll now do is we'll just fill this thing in, probably going from, I don't know, shall we start from the bottom? Let's start from the bottom and work our way up to the top. So I know it's not a circle, guys. I'm well aware. This logo looks terrible. That's why we wrote Starbucks on the side, to let people know. So once you've got that taken care of, starting from the bottom left-hand side here, this is what we want to do. We're going to build this up going from left to right. So do 1 dark green, 3 quartz, 1 green. Next row. Next row is quartz, green, quartz, green, quartz. Next row, we want to do quartz, green, 3 quartz, green, 1 quartz. Next row actually wants to be a copy of the previous row. Throw that exact same row directly on top. Next row wants to be 1 green, 1 quartz, 1 green, 1 quartz, 1 green, 1 quartz, 1 green. Reaching the top now, we want to do an entire layer of green. Now at the very top here, we want to do 1 green, 3 quartz, 1 green, and this is what I had for the Starbucks logo. Extremely difficult to do, just in case you guys aren't aware, the Starbucks logo is basically a woman's face with a crown. Do you know how difficult that is to convey in these extremely tiny conventions, in these extremely tiny dimensions? That is what that's supposed to be. If you want to get a little crazy with it, you might even want to take out some quartz stairs, and where we have the crown at the top here, you might want to knock that out, and then boom, then boom. That looks a little bit more like a crown. Looks less like the logo, more like a crown. You might want to do that, and that is what you want to have for the logo, guys. Let me also show you it from the side view since we're just about done. And there we go, guys. We have pretty much our Starbucks. What do we have left to do now? We have to fill in the roof, and then we have to mess about with the outside if we so choose. So, once you've reached this point right here, literally the only thing that we have left to do is fill in the roof, which I'm going to completely fill in with birchwood planks. I'm considering piecing out at this point, guys, because I don't know how long this tutorial has been going for, but it feels like ages. So I might actually leave this off here so that we have a little bit of time to talk about the outside and possibly the interior if I decide to do one. I'm not entirely sure if I'll do it, but all that's left after this point, guys, to actually make the physical building of your Starbucks, you just have to completely fill the top of this thing in with birchwood planks. That's all you have to do. That's all that's left between this and, well, other than what you'll see in the thumb, you'll see like a little bit out front, you'll see 2 tables, some chairs, a little bit of umbrellaage going on, and a little bit of a path. That's all you'll see. But the actual physical part of the building, all that's left is to fill the top of it, fill the roof in with birchwood planks. That's all that's going to happen. So I'm going to do that, guys, and I'll be back, not with this building, but I will show you the original version of my Starbucks, in which I've messed about with the exterior. So you'll be left with something that should look like this, hopefully. Tutorial portion of this is over. I'm going to fill in the roof, and then I'll be back with the other version of Starbucks. I'm not actually going to fill in the roof. There's no point if I'm going to show you the original. So I'll be back with the original version of Starbucks. All that's left is the roof. Back in a minute. Alright guys, so this is the original version of my Starbucks. As you might be able to see, a couple of things have changed. Not so much with the outside, but the inside has definitely changed. And I will let you guys know right now, I've never been inside a Starbucks or a coffee shop. I don't know exactly how they're supposed to look on the inside. I'm going to be honest with you. Coffee disgusts me. So I've had a bit bit of a guess. So this is the inside. You might want to copy the layout, you might not, it's kind of up to you. Very dark in here, by the way. That's why we have these weird kind of romantic looking tables with the candles in the middle. It's not because I think that's how the tables look, it's because it is so goddamn dark in here, guys. I just had to light it up as much as I possibly could, and the only way to do that without littering torches all over the floor was to put some lights in the tables. So here we just have a load of tables. I figure they probably have tables at coffee shops. Probably. Where else are they going to sit and waste their time drinking coffee? So I added a load of tables, very similar chairs and tables to what we have outside. These chairs are basically made from nether brick fence, but of course you could use any fence to make these if you like them. Not really practical chairs as you'd fall straight through the middle, but you know, from far away they kind of look like chairs, don't they? I kind of like them. So we just have a load of tables. It's just like a 3x3 square, and there's just like nether brick fence at each corner, and then we've got the tables. Do you want me to show you how to make one of these chairs? It's really simple. It's somewhat ingenious, to be honest with you. Just 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. Whoops. Not like that. There we go, very, very simple. I never even thought about this. I actually googled like Minecraft chair and this came up. I was kind of impressed because it's so easy and I never even thought about it. I never thought that I could get like fence to look like a chair, but that's how that's done. Very, very simple. Here we have like a counter where you'd order the coffee. This is where the coffee's brewed, in the brewing stands. It makes sense, doesn't it? This is kind of like an employee area that I didn't really know what to do with. This is just a nice big open space. If you guys have more imagination than I do, which I'm sure you do, then you'll be able to fill this up with something. And then here on the opposite side, we actually have 2 sets of toilets this time. I usually only had 1. I have unisex toilets, but this time we have male and female, which are not labeled, so you're playing Russian roulette as you walk through the door of these. These toilets are pretty simple. This is like where you'd wash your hands, and those are the dispensers. Very rough toilets, guys, and then we have a couple of toilet stalls here. Obviously, if you want to copy the layout, I'm sure that you'll manage to do it, and you can probably grasp everything and how to make it just by kind of looking at it. It's not complicated whatsoever. And then this opposite side here, pretty much just the exact same thing, except, you know, reversed. It's just a mirrored version of what we have over there. We just have a couple of toilet stalls, and obviously that's where you'd wash your hands, and blah, 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 and dry them, and all that sort of stuff. I even had to light up the roof. There we go. That's what that's called, the thing above our heads. Had to light up the roof pretty severely. Those are big giant strobe lights, and then we've got the torches everywhere. It's still dark in here. I still wish it was lighter, despite the fact that I have so many torches in here that it's actually starting to look bad. It's still not light enough. But that's the inside, guys. As you can see, if you want to see where I've kind of like sectioned off that back bit, it's like 2 rows or 3 rows away from the window, in which the 3rd row is kind of like just cuts it off. And I obviously made like a ceiling, and the ceiling is just like 2 rows higher than the actual windows themselves. Of course, there's a lot more room. If you knock through here, you could have a 2-story coffee shop if you wanted to. Plenty of room up here, but obviously I just wanted the one floor. I didn't want to have to make 2 floors. But I think that I hope that it's pretty much it's how one is laid out, I hope. I mean, you've got tables, you've got chairs, you've got toilets, you've got an employee bit, you've got the counter, the register, you've got the brewing stands. That's how they do it. They have a alchemy chemical looking brewing stand, and that's how they make coffee. That's why it tastes so bad. But that's the inside, guys. Just thought you might want to see how mine's set out, how easy it is to make. Very simple to make. Obviously, you guys can do that if you want. Do something else. Make it better than what I've done. It shouldn't be too hard, guys. Moving on to the outside. So, with the outside, as I didn't give Starbucks a drive-thru, I don't know if they have a drive-thru. I have a disturbing feeling that Starbucks might even have a drive-thru. Like the actual shop. I've got a disturbing feeling they might have one. I don't know why they'd have that. But mine doesn't. Because coffee shops should not have a drive-thru. Doesn't make any sense. And unless they're selling other stuff. What can they be selling? Muffins? Cookies? You don't go for a drive-thru for muffins and cookies. You should. I'm lazy, I'd love that. Never mind. Anyway, so the outside, I've pretty much just done a layer of stone bricks that go all the way around the outside. I've got quartz that goes all around there, but I decided that on the front of the shop, I'd have a couple of tables, one on the left and right, those are in front of the windows, and then these are supposed to be, I was building this off like an actual Starbucks building on Google Images, and these are supposed to be like those big umbrella thingies. That's what this is. It looks like a tree. Or a bush. Looks like one of those, but it's actually an umbrella. I know. Crazy. Looks like a bush, though. So, that's the outside. I mean, I don't think I really have to give you guys a close-up of any of this stuff. I mean, it is all really, really simple, but 2 tables, 4 chairs, 2 umbrellas, bushes, goes all the way around, sticks out a bit out front. If you want to make it bigger, you could. If you want to make it smaller, you could. If you want to make it non-existent, you could. It's completely up to you. I'll admit, I didn't try that hard with the interior. The exterior, I think, is perfectly fine, but I did not try that hard with the interior. I think that I tried hard enough with the exterior to make up for the terrible interior, although it is functional. Technically is functional, and that's all I have to show you guys. That's why I've taken the UI off. That's why we're having a nice little bit of a tour. I really like this building, by the way. I know that you may not have been able to grasp that from these last, I don't know, 5 or 7 minutes, however long it's been. I actually really, really like this. I'm quite proud of my Starbucks. I think it looks really cool. At least I do. Hopefully you guys do. That'd be nice, if it's not just me. Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes. Unfortunately, it is just me that likes my creations, but I really do. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you've managed to make it. I know that it takes a long time to build. I'd guess that if you wanted to do the interior along with the exterior and the building itself, it'd probably take you about 2 hours. Less time if you had somebody else with you. If you had a friend you were having a bit of a talk, it'd probably take you about an hour to crack this thing out. Most of the time invested in this is really just building up those walls, those birchwood plank walls. Oh god, do they take forever. So, hopefully you guys like it, hopefully you've managed to make it, and if you wouldn't mind guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out guys, I would just vastly appreciate, as I always do. I made this due to a suggestion. I was going to make Tesco's, which is actually in this world as well, but it's so big and it's not finished yet. So, like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind. Comment down below, what would you like to see me make next? I might make it. Guys. I'd appreciate it if it was a real world suggestion, like if you wanted me to make Target, a lot of you guys are saying, like Subway, stuff like that, fast food restaurants, Burger King. Feel free to leave your suggestion down below and I might even make it, who knows. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my other various tutorials, and in the card system will be more specific videos. Thank you very much for watching, like, favourite, share if you wouldn't mind, I'll see you in the next video.